Rek'Sai, but Rek'Sai has been very, very good for Chelby. Of course, managing to pick up a couple of victories in the first week against Hellions on that champion. Hasn't been back to it since. See how it goes, but that's Bard locked in. Okay.
It is indeed. Bard, playmaking support.
Yeah.
Picked here for Blind Turkey. One thing he loves to do is make plays. I'm not going to say similar to the Thresh by any means, but is more of a lower range, poke around and do as much as you can, and every single aspect of Bard is playmaking to some extent, and can win or lose your team the game.
Yep.
So very important that Blind Turkey shows up here and goes big for his team.
I'll definitely default to your opinion on the Bard, as of course you've played that champion a heck of a lot. Trundle locked in here as well as the Elise, so Seb defaulting back to a champion that he's played a fair bit. Of course, hasn't been able to this series as Chelby's been locking it in relatively quickly as Jack Attack looks like once again going back towards the Trundle.
Yep. No reason not to go back to it anyway. He's a solid Trundle.
Yeah.
Has this innate ability here as Jack Attack in particular to be a tank while still having some aspect of carrying to his kit.
Yeah.
And being able to deny other tanks is what separates Trundle from the rest. You just press R on them and they really struggle and have to run away.
Oh, Blind Turkey hovering the Zed as Malaz going for a look at some lane control as the Gnar was there. I'm not sure whether Sejuani is going to be the option. Haven't seen a lot of her recently, but
Especially not in top lane.
yeah. It doesn't work very much. And I was actually going to mention this guy. Of course, Malphite made his way through a couple of drafts now as well. Is going to be locked in, as it is going to offer the team a little bit more magic damage. Of course, Corki already going to be doing that. And it is going to be the AD carry Corki. So Destiny heading down to the bottom lane with Blind Turkey on the Bard. And it's a decently well-rounded team comp here from Avant. Lots of engage options.
I think that's the best point that you brought up, though, is the mixed damage. So Corki does a lot of magic damage. Bard naturally does a lot of magic damage as well for a support. And Malphite's capable of doing his own chunk of this magic damage, which gives Rekt the opportunity to play an AD mid laner. And we saw his Zed, we saw how good he is on this champion. He's just going to default back to this champion. And not a bad draft here whatsoever from Avant, but of course Midbeast gets the option this time.
Yeah, and this is Midbeast's sort of default champion as well. This is what he falls back to if he really wants to win his lane. Of course, tried his very best against Direwolves. Of course, Fantix playing that Twisted Fate in that game that Midbeast was able to Ahri. Did actually do decently in the lane. It was just the rest of the lanes that went not so well. And they were able to come out on top. But Infernum now with their lineup very pick-looking at the moment with sort of the split-pushing Trundle there in the top lane. But AV, it's like we said before, I mean, it's just looking very well-rounded. We'll see how they are going to play this one out. But the big tanks battling in the top lane, and this one looks like it favors Trundle.
It does to an extent, of course. What we're looking at now from Avant is a team composition that can deal with any mid-game stagnation whatsoever. Just actually force fights, make engages go. They've got Rek'Sai to follow up. My only concern looking at this team composition is they've got Bard Malphite. There's a chance that this goes so very right, but there's a chance that this goes so far from right and just goes absolutely wrong.
Yeah, very similar to the Orianna-Janna synergy, which is not so great, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Well, you know, they're just teething problems, guys. Teething problems. As you know, it's very early in the OPL. Yep. They're a team that haven't been there for quite so long. We'll see whether they can work that one out. But, ladies and gentlemen, we want to hear your opinion on who's going to take this game. Use that hashtag AVWin if you think that AV are going to be able to take the back-to-back victories to round out the series, or whether you believe in Infernum and think they can pick up their first win here in the OPL. Both of these team comps looking pretty good. The Alistair, of course, being a linchpin at the moment in the hands of Yuzuki as well, who's been able to control a lot of these fights. We'll see whether Infernum are going to be able to utilize it, but down to the wire, and we'll just see whether Rekt can do the same thing again. His namesake there in the mid lane.
Absolutely. Had a great game too. Was decent in game one. The saving grace was that Midbeast was better team fighting with the rest of Infernum. Something that they'll have to show up and do again this time around. But he got the counter pick this time, Midbeast. He chose Ahri into Zed. So if he goes down in this lane, no one to blame but himself.
That is very true. But Infernum already moving up, and this time, not actually going to have the 5-stack moving into the enemy jungle. Very defensive start. It's both teams looking to just defend if they can. Stealthix, once again, back on the Ezreal. Played it 2 games in a row versus Hellions. Didn't manage to find the win, but definitely made it towards that late game. And it was a few strategic errors that Didn't quite work out as Blind Turkey just wandering into the enemy jungle, putting down what I like to call the E-Gym ward.
Why do you call it the E-Gym ward?
Because he does it every single game and he never gets punished.
Okay.
Just wanders in there. Chucks it down. No fear.
So the jungle start ward, in other words, to see where Seb is going to be beginning his jungle route and whether or not Stealthix and Yuzuki attempt to do a jungle camp at level 1 of their own. It gives a lot of information from one single ward, to keep that in mind. So maybe it is the E-Gym ward. That's a frog.
That's a frog. That is. Oh, he's hidden. See a frog.
He's about to jump.
He is. Oh no, Froggy! Oh, why do we have to start the game with frog suicide?
Our sadistic spectators.
We went from frog suicide to Stealthix missing his first Q. This has gone from bad to worse. Oh man.
I've got nothing.
Yeah.
That's just heartbreaking.
Oh well. AV managed to take down the Stone Brothers. I mean, that's a thing. Shelby is attacking himself a blue buff as just beasts are dying all over the rift. Oh god. The Crimson Brambleback also going to die as Seb's going to take that one down. It's the top lane. They're just going to be whacking each other. And Infernum starting off this laning phase with a little bit of an experience disadvantage. Destiny is in there with that level 2. Probably has the Gatling gun phosphorus bomb. We'll see whether he gets aggressive.
Yeah, it's also just pressure that a Bard can put down. I say this every time, but an Alistar at level 1 is irrelevant. They're looking towards scaling up, so everyone gets zoned until they hit that level power. Usually level 2.
Well, someone's having a whisper here on the bottom side. That might be the ghost of the frog that died.
Bard.
Nah, probably the ghost of the...
How
oh my
on
god!
earth?
What? Blind Turkey. That was magical.
I don't even... No, that was not magical. That was ridiculous.
Cosmic?
No word it will actually describe that besides ridiculous. It shouldn't have happened. It latched to this weird angle.
Oh. Very nice Cosmic Binding to start off the lane here for Blind Turkey. As Seb... Oh, he's getting collapsed on by both Shelby and Blind Turkey now. Slowed down by the auto attack. Actually, not so much. Phosphorus Bomb going to do a lot of damage. There's the flash from Shelby. They're looking for Seb, who's down to 200 health. Does use the flash to get out. That's 2 summoners burnt. And Shelby probably still happy.
Yeah, Shelby using his flash, immediately responded by Seb. Everyone gets out, but one of them has more health and can continue jungling. In this case, it's counter jungling as Midbeast escorts him out.
Yeah, Rekt actually now threatening with this Shuriken, misses Midbeast.
The Duke battle.
Yeah, that was mind games.
What legitimately is mind games. Every single time a Zed puts out his shadows, you can only follow it with the E, and then you look towards throwing down the Q, and then it just becomes a mental battle.
Well, Charm going to land here.
I'm sure we'll see it again.
It's going to be a bit of resource attrition in the mid lane as well, as Midbeast does have to take care of his mana bar where Rekt can just throw things out. Now aggressive as he follows that one. But nice follow-up damage there from Midbeast with the Foxfire.
Well, yeah, but he's also running very low on mana at the moment, being pressured under his turret. So if this continues, an extra potion advantage for Rekt. Well, at this stage, actually 2 potions in advantage. He's got 6 extra CS.
Doing well.
This is the point where Midbeast really does struggle in this lane, just because one uses energy.
Oh god, Jack Attack is so far up. Shelby just going to wander up. Traffic Cone in a great spot here for Jack Attack, who still has his flash. And they have to back away. Brilliant use of that pillar.
That was a wonderful pillar from Jack Attack. Being able to get out of that with little to no damage taken is impressive.
I'm surprised he didn't have to flash. He should have been forced to flash there. But not going to happen.
That was Shelby's pathing as well. Didn't directly walk behind him. Sort of picked an angle to attack, and then Jack Attack capitalized. But patient play from the experienced top laner here.
Oh, well, you can see Seb moving in here on the mid lane, but not going to find too much as Destiny's got a smorgasbord. Look at that banquet table.
Nice. That's
yep.
the Corki.
See?
I'll get in a close-up. Pose for us, Destiny.
I told you guys. Follow Destiny for other Corki-related cosplay.
Also calls himself Destalift, in case you were wondering.
Didn't you just write that on a whiteboard?
No, he wrote that on a whiteboard.
All right. Okay.
I just took a photo and posted it on Twitter.
Shelby's back here. Another brilliant pillar here from Jack Attack, but he may be forced to use the flash this time around. Shelby, he's taking so much damage. There's the flash forward. Jack Attack cancels an auto attack just for style as he grabs first blood 1v2. Well. Does have the subjugate if he wants to use it. Malaz has to get out. What the hell? This guy.
What is happening?
Blind Turkey struggling as well as Seb wants to grab it. The cool guys don't look at explosions. The jungler picks up the kill on the support. As Destiny now, what are you doing? Cocoon's down. The knock-up from Yazuki and Infernum. They pull the trigger hard. Okay. Flash headbutt from Yazuki as Stealthix. Come on, get in there, mate. As Midbeast comes down, says, yeah, I'll take a piece of this pie. And Infernum have started so strong this game.
3-0 out of thin air as Chelby reveals himself in that top lane. Tries to gank a second time and gets absolutely destroyed. He's got minions hitting him absolutely everywhere. The corrupting potion as well.
He hadn't been back to buy.
Honestly, no idea what Chelby was thinking. Malaz had nothing to help him. And then bot lane. Zeb tower dives because Destiny was getting over-aggressive and tried to get a 1v1. Stealthix just used the summoners and lived. And they both go down.
Oh, Seb goes down very, very low taking the dragon, but Infernum will lock that one down as well as all of the kills. Cosmic Binding not going to find Seb after it tags Yazuki. And Malaz back here in the top lane, but that's a Tiamat already for Jack Attack, not going towards any defensive items to start off with. He wants that one straight away.
What a start to this game as well.
Oh my god.
Avant, we said they needed to step up here in the jungle role. It was the one thing we're a bit disappointed with their performance in Game 2, even in a victory. And that just backfires indefinitely. He outplayed himself.
Yeah, it wasn't great. He hadn't been back to buy though. He had...
Well, that's what I mean. He outplayed himself.
On nothing. Ugh.
Jack Attack doesn't need to buy items to be a naturally proficient champion. And just turned around and chomped his face off.
Yeah, well, Rekt making his way towards the top lane, but just puts a ward down in full vision of that ping. So Seb knows that he's going to be safe. Rekt now going to pick himself up a blue buff, the extra energy regen, and of course the experience, which is going to be very helpful, but he's still ahead. 15 CS there in the mid lane as Midbeast was able to pick up a kill, so equalizing it quite nicely. And Hex Drinker now picked up for Rekt as well, so not going towards the aggressive serrated Dirk build as he's not as far ahead this time around.
No, he's very happy with where he is at the moment though, finding that slight CS lead. Same thing goes for bottom lane. Yep, and even jungle to an extent, as here we go. Jack will take you on.
Yeah, dude, what are you doing? Malaz has got no mana. Jack Attack just says, yeah, get subjugated, bro. I am in no worries at all.
That is so stupid. Because it's not stupid because he's taking on Jack Attack in a fight. We all know it's going to go poorly, and sure, you got the Trundle's ultimate, right? Like, it's not a net
loss, yeah,
okay. Yeah. But he's revealing exactly where he is on the map. Seb's immediate response will be like, well, I know where he is. I'm just going to go clear vision on this side of the map and look for gangster I can.
Yeah, freely as well as Seb going to take down a Rift Scuttler.
It's just knowledge. The one thing you don't want to give up in this game for free is knowledge in competitive games. But by going top lane like that predictably and just zoning Jack Attack away so Malaz can recall, I mean, sure, you do you.
Oh, Deathmark still available there in the mid lane as Midbeast was forced back, used the ultimate there as well. He chucks out the last couple of charges just for fun. Now just using that Q from range. So Rekt, once again, just so much pressure in this mid lane.
Seb is here this time. Though. Remember, Rekt has his ultimate, and there's an inkling feeling that Seb will die.
Yeah, there's the Q. Uses the death mark as the charm comes out. What is going on here in this mid lane? As Chelby's going to find his way around. No one's going to die. But I just didn't know where Rekt was going to go.
Went to his W.
Yeah, a couple of times.
I feel like we need to slow-mo that one for
yeah,
Atlas.
No, please.
His head actually just exploded.
Just a little.
I saw it happen next to me.
oh, God.
But no one dies, and we saw...
There it is. Okay, so Deathmark, I managed to get that bit. Repel happens. Where did he go?
Shadows below.
Ah, he went out of the screen. That was cheeky. It wasn't that hard. Yeah, no, but I didn't see the other shadow. That was the bit. That's my excuse anyway. I think we can all understand that maybe I was a bit slow. AV. Just clearing out this wave in the bottom lane as Seb once again back to farming duty. Midbeast with a little bit of respite as Rekt is going to pick up some items. Serrated Dirk now in his back pocket, and he just wants as many right-hand facing swords as he can. I like it.
And the standard Z builds, just long swords pretty much everywhere the entire time.
Yeah.
Corki also working towards that Trinity Force, has maintained the CS difference between the two.
Yeah, nicely played by Destiny.
Not that big of a deal, though, if you were Stealthix, as you've got a tier, so your power is a lot less. Chelby's stalking Seb.
Yeah, he knows what's going to happen here as Seb gets missed. Destiny finds his way over, though. What's he doing up here as he knocks up Seb? There's the package delivered. Seb trying to get out of here, but he's not tanky at all. Chelby steals the kill away. Jack Attack's going to kill Malaz underneath his turret. He's going to fall down, but that is message received. Shutdown comes in for Wrecked of all people, and AV, they will answer brilliantly and possibly be able to pick up a turret. It's getting madly pinged.
That was 5 members just casually coming to the top lane from Avant. We're seeing a lot of early map movement from both of these teams. Wrecked now back in that middle lane trying to wave clear and deal with it. Ezreal's going to push bottom, but this is how Jack Attack decides he just wants to kill Malaz. Just, you know, flash ult, chomp him. And the ultimate's enough to take him down, especially with the corrupting potion, I will add.
Yeah.
But he dies. And not just him.
Deathmark was down onto mid-beast. Rex not able to find too much there with Yuzuki hanging out. Thankfully, you couldn't actually see what's going on there. As I'm not sure about you, Rusty, but my head is exploding from the sound.
I feel like things just got a lot louder.
They did. It's because we're so much more excited. Shelby's going to take himself down some chickens here in the jungle. Malaz once again going back. He does have himself a Sunfire cape, but it's pretty difficult for this guy. Down by a lot of farm. That, sorry, I'm just my brain.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Sorry, Titanic Hydra, very, very close to being done by a Jack Attack. Complement those Swifty boots. He's got a couple of Ruby Crystals there as well for some added health, so he's very, very happy. Mid-base, not going towards any armor apart from that cloth armor just yet. He does have himself the Marilla Nomicon.
Elise on a side note, very good at taking down Rift Herald because the Spiderlings can attract attention of the Herald.
Oh, Herald just loves Spiderlings.
Yeah. So free pot shots on the eye. Very easy done here from Infernum. They pick up the standing objective essentially. It's nothing overwhelming, and Avant now pushing bottom.
Yeah. Shelby. True Shot Barrage was good from Stealthix just to try and stop them from going in. Stealthix actually agrees with Destiny here as far as that build is concerned. He's doing his best to farm with these Qs. But one thing AV have been doing fantastically is pushing down these side waves and getting objectives. Ultimate was used by Malaz there in the top lane, as you just saw.
Yeah.
Infernum putting on the pressure, so they will be able to answer that bottom outer turret, but they'll keep the turret lead. What the heck damage was that? Okay, Wrecked.
That was
outrageous. Solo shove out the mid lane.
The Thunderlord's procced with his entire combo that connected. And Midbeast just ults out of there immediately. He wants nothing to do with that. No risk of going down once he goes over to the Raptors, but holy moly.
Message received, man. Message received. Well, Jack Attack continues to push here on the top side. Yuzuki's hanging out.
Big difference as well between the top laners.
Oh, there's the Cocoon. Oh, the ultimate comes in. Seb just says, well, I'll just repel to my red buff. It'll be fine.
That was nice from Seb, though.
Yeah.
Very well played mechanically, I will admit. Gets out nothing actually touching him at all in that entire time. And Infernum, they've capitalized on the top lane advantage that Jack Attack has. They're now consolidating Jack Attack's advantage, grouping on this middle lane. How are these stuns connecting? I don't know, but here they are.
How did that hit Stealthix? That was ridiculous. It is going to be Infernum picking up first blood as far as the mid lane towers are concerned, and they do have Herald building up the damage of these creeps that are now super dead. It takes a lot for things to be super dead, but Wrecked is doing a lot of damage, so he can get it.
Yeah, pretty much everything Wrecked touches turns to super dead, I guess, at this point in the game. Not level 11 just yet, though.
Not quite.
A big deal once he hits that. The only level 11 member on the map is Jack Attack, who you have to say is going to need to put the team on his back.
Well, I mean, he is a big tank guy, and if tanks do anything, it is carry things through hazardous territory. By things, I mean people. That's pretty rude. Stealthix looking for a back opportunity, will grab himself that Sheen. We'll see how close to that Iceborne Gauntlet he can get from this buy. Of course, every bit of cooldown reduction is good, so a Glacial Shroud also going to be a decent pickup for Stealthix. Just make sure he's shooting out as many Qs as possible. Blind Turkey continuing to do pretty well on this Bard. See how he goes in these late game team fights and things like that though, Rusty, because you were talking about the fact that Bard is just one of these champions that can make or break these fights.
Absolutely. The thing with Avant Garde's team composition is no matter how poorly the top lane goes, Malphite will be relevant in team fights.
Yeah.
And there is a real opportunity that those team fights backfire on them. The thing that Infernum are now looking towards is having Jack attack split push. Because I don't think there's any conceivable manner that Malaz can deal with Jack attack.
I'm not sure whether Rekt can deal with him either.
They've got the package here too. And Malphite, so they're just going to go all in on this turret.
They have an opportunity to. They also have Blind Turkey whispering weird stuff to Infernum.
Yeah.
Which is freaking me out. Probably freaking them out as well. Cocoon going to go wide. This turret was already prepared from Rekt. They are going to be able to lock that one down very easily with some added pressure from a couple of extra people.
He's not going to stop
I think it is
this.
his kingdom now.
Yeah.
He got it right this time.
Oh,
Oh no!
Well,
I think the package was actually... Oh, Tempered Fate not going to find Jack Attack.
yeah, but he's, look, he's in trouble.
Well, it's his kingdom, but I believe Avant are doing their very best to deny it from him. Oh, look at that damage back onto Rekt. The Subjugate giving a whole lot of health there as well. He's dead, but I mean, he's doing a great... I don't know. Charm comes down. Blind Turkey takes the end of the Orb of Deception. He's running so fast on his territory. The flash over. Deathmark is there. Rekt says, well, I have to give you a lot if I'm going to take this one down. Gets ignited by Mid-Beast as well, but it's not going to be enough. Man, takes a lot of killing, does the old Jack Attack.
He was about 1,700 gold ahead of his top lane opposition with 1.5 items and Boots of Swiftness. It takes a lot to kill a Trundle, and when they're ahead, it takes even more, as they needed a flash ultimate out of Rekt to secure that kill. After the Bard ultimate, after a lot of emphasis from many members and time spent. So they get the bottom turret as a trade, just because he took so damn long to die.
Yeah, I love it. And I love that Infernum are actually in position to be able to take something down on the map as well. That's going to even things up completely, as even on turrets, even on dragons, not on kills, but the gold is 300 one way or another. And despite Infernum having an extra kill, the 300 is in the way of Avant, which is very cute. Due to that, CS lead across the board, Destiny picking that one up. And by across the board, I mean in the bottom and mid lane, as Jack Attack is well and truly ahead of the top lane. Look at that Titanic
Mostly
Hydra.
in the jungle as well, if we're looking at farm differences.
True.
Adds up by quite large values when it's jungle camps.
Shelby has most definitely been pretty agriculturally focused this game.
Definitely has been. Still got ourselves the big Z again, though.
True.
Rekt. A lot of attention went onto him last time. Don't be surprised if it happens again. But Mid-Beast will be very relevant this time, doing the same thing that Rekt will be doing on the opposition backline. It all comes down to what Malphite can get done. Or what Jack Attack can. Oh, wow.
Oh, Tempered Fate nails Seb. He does have the repellers. Jack Attack, he's just putting himself in the way. Malaz gets stripped of his resistances, but Mid-Beast is getting destroyed. There's the unstoppable force as Mid-Beast is going to flash away. Shelby going to die. Mid-Beast survives as Malaz, he's going to die next. Celtics right in the backline.
Look at Jack Attack.
He just can't do as much, and Jack Attack back to full health. The Deathmark comes in. Rekt able to get over the wall, but he's stunned. Yuzuki gonna die. Seb so incredibly low. Destiny can't weave the shots. See you later, Harold, as Infernum are getting their way back down this lane. Stealthix now all the way forward. Jack Attack gonna lock down the kill. He just won't stop. Oh my god.
Oh, this is the biggest Trundle ever. Infernum honestly almost get that turned around. Yuzuki dies to a lot of damage from Rekt. And Destiny poking.
Seb?
Oh, there you go.
Why were you backing there?
Lesson learnt, Seb. Don't recall in silly places against the Z. They capitalized on that. And we are going to see this again. Shelby and Malaz trying to threaten the backline. Don't actually use their ultimates until they get poked really low. And only connects onto one target here, Malaz.
So
as Mid-Beast lives through it. This entire time, Jack Attack is just pounding people with his police baton. And almost forces them to go in. Rekt has to ult out of the cocoon, gets over the wall, and then bursts Yuzuki out. And now they're doing Baron.
Avant going for the desperation Baron. Jack Attack puts his face in the team. which is what he's known to do. True Shot Barrage comes down. Can they lock up the Baron? It is going to be Chelby that grabs it, but are they going to lose too much as Avant are going to lay down the Tempered Fate? It's a nice Cosmic Binding there as well. Chelby just going to burrow his way out. Stealthix can't find his way over the wall. Seb, he's seeing what he can do. Void Rush is going to get him out. That's going to be the Baron down, and they only lose Malaz.
Only one dead. The Baron picked up, and a lot of control now given to Avant Garde out of a situation where that all happened because Seb got himself killed by recalling.
Yeah.
If ever there was a lesson that he needed to learn, it's that.
That was so dumb. Really dumb. Next level dumb.
Well, but he's learnt it now.
He has. He has, and we can stop being mean. That's going to even things out once again, though, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 3. Things couldn't be more tied up, apart from the fact that there are big purple swirlies around the AV members. We'll see what they can do with that Baron buff as they move down the lanes.
It'll be Dragon number 2, you would have to say, unless Infernum look to contest this one. By no means are they weak. In fact, you would wager they are stronger, just given Jack Attack's power.
Oh my god, and he's even got the 20% CDR of that Iceborne Gauntlet, but he's not going to go in. The Trundle is now in the mid lane. Of course, it's a decent idea to fight around the Dragon for Infernum. Oh, as Blind Turkey's looking for something. Doesn't find the Cosmic Binding though. Yuzuki with a bit of a juke there. Will be safe. But yeah, fighting them around the Dragon's okay because you only buff up the minions with the Baron buff.
But to be fair, they don't need to fight for the Dragon either. They've got the first Dragon. What's the second Dragon actually provide?
I'm not even sure. It's like minion damage or tower damage, but both of them are relatively
irrelevant. Even if you were Avant and Infernum tried to fight you, can just leave the Dragon anyway. Like, it's just the second Dragon again.
Well, Jack Attack once again throws down a traffic cone. He's directing traffic now on this policeman Trundle as the split push is now ensuing. We'll see whether Infernum can actually make a play here in the mid lane to try and counter this. But it is just going to be Jack Attack answering, and this is going to be the question. The 5-2-1 Trundle.
He has 70 extra CS as well.
My god.
There should be no situation where anyone on the map can deal with him. Not even Wrecked.
Well, you can see Wrecked thinks so too, as he's just not even in vision of this Trundle. You can be as slippery as you like, Mr. Zed. But there's a Iceborne Gauntlet on Jack Attack, and he'll just run after you.
And Wreck doesn't have teleport, so the reason he's staying out of vision and really far back is because Infernum could just engage. And if they ever spot the Zed, they will do so. Because Jack can just clear the wave and then go.
Well, nothing gained just yet. The Baron buff wearing off now on Avant. Only a few seconds left. Shelby continuing the split push. Mid base gets back up here. Oh, not going to offer that much wave clear to the melee minions, but able to clear out the casters, which do a lot of the damage. As AV continue the push here in the mid lane. They have control of the minion waves. They haven't managed to siege down a turret. True Shot Barrage comes in. Oh, just the tip of that Tempered Fate will hit Stealthix, but they can't engage on it.
Nah, it was just zoning Bard ultimate. They were looking to put damage down onto that turret, utilize the last little inkling of that Baron buff. They don't really get anything from it though. They pick up a Dragon and they got, pretty much nothing.
Well, Malaz, he's got himself an Iceborne Gauntlet as well.
I think we know why they got nothing though.
Yeah, Obscuria saying Wrecked living up to the name, LeMayo. Definitely is. We'll see whether he can continue to do so, of course. The mid to late game Zed, hard to pull off, but when you can.
Well, it's funny, he lives up to his name either way.
Well, that's
really true. Just saying, like, even if he loses, they somehow got wrecked still.
Wreck or get wrecked, I guess, is the question.
Do or do not.
Yeah, there is no try. Yeah. Oh, God. Okay.
Nailed it.
I like how he's mixing up his builds as well. Tiamat first game, now he wants to play to the Ruined King. Potential single target damage.
Can potentially deal with Jack Attack more so by having the health bonus damage. Yep. And the active to get away, maybe.
Yeah, feeling a little bit more slippery. We'll see whether he decides to pick up the QSS sooner rather than later, just to make sure he doesn't get cocooned or charmed or anything like that.
And this entire team composition out of Infernum's designed to be pick. They've got Jack Attack to put down the pillar if he's ever with the team, displace a lot of people, force them into cocoons or charms. And then you've got the follow-up from the other respective spell as well as an Alistar. And the whole time, Celtics will be doing damage. The biggest concern is that between an Ezreal and an Ahri, if one of them dies, I don't know if the damage is there across the board.
Unless Jack Attack can just outlast everyone and bite them to death. I think that seems to be it.
I think it's possible, but right now, Jack Attack needs to look at the bottom lane. Even consider changing out the Titanic to Ravenous, just to be able to
commit
stay
to
here.
it, yeah.
Yeah, forever, and actually be able to out-trade confidently.
Well, already having a decent time here against Malaz. As Frost Queen's claim has come down. Yuzuki is going to catch Chelby there as he gets slowed down. Tempered Fate comes in, grabs a mid-beast and Seb. Yuzuki just being a brick wall for his team. All the skill shots missing here on the side of AV as they clean up the minions. And Jack Attack now just fighting Malaz. Not going to get stunned against the wall from Blind Turkey as they're all collapsing on this Trundle. He's running pretty quick as Stealthix hops over the wall. Aggressive play from the Ezreal, but is going to save his top laner. The flash now down though from Jack Attack. This red buff under fire. Jack Attack is once again back in the bottom lane.
This isn't a big deal though. What's the big deal? Midbeast doesn't have his ult.
Oh, and the ultimate comes down. Stealthix takes so much damage. Deathmark comes in. Very early use of the QSS means that won't work, but Shutdown comes in on direct. Everyone just dives on top of Ezreal. He's going to die. Malaz has used his ultimate. He's basically useless right now, but he's getting ignited and destroyed. Orb Deception for the true damage, but he survived. Midbeast underneath the turret. He's going to die. Destiny now is rampaging through this. He flashes over the top of the cocoon. That was some stylish play. As now Seb and Jack Attack trying to get out of this one. Slowed down. And Seb going to use the repel, trying to create some distance.
They're out.
Yeah, they just cannot do enough damage by the looks of things. As the cocoon comes down to the Blind Turkey. Pillar there as well. The disengaged Lords. Tempered Fate flashed out of the way of, and they're now underneath the turret. Shelby, what are you doing? Get your tunnels out of there.
And Avant Garde, they turn it back around. Stealthix used his QSS to get out of a Malphite knock-up and then got Z ulted. So not exactly the ideal usage, as you're about to see. Not really going to gain him anything as Rek'Sai comes over, cleans him up at the same time as Destiny put in some poke beforehand. Midbeast is the only damage source remaining here for Infernum. And Rek'Sai gets a 4-person or 3-person knock-up rather with that flash on Burrow, and Midbeast is stuck under the turret.
Yeah, Chelby's CC was so huge.
Yeah, it was poor follow-up here from Infernum. They should have kept Stealthix alive and worked back and kited. It's what their comp's designed to do. Pick, kite, poke, siege.
And also maybe
not team fight against
use that QSS on the old Deathmark as well, perhaps.
Honestly, it wasn't that big of a deal because the Z didn't do a whole lot of damage to him, so the pop wasn't massive.
Oh, there's the ultimate actually out of mid-beast, as he may have caught Blind Turkey here. That's going to be Stealthix picking up the kill, and by may have, I mean, he definitely caught him. Infernum, they grab the support. We'll see whether they can translate this. Of course, the Trundle still split pushing on the bottom side. Malaz holding onto this minion wave as best he can. Trundle's moving in. Rekt utilizing his wave clear, but it may not be enough. Yuzuki, big burly cow in the front line. And Infernum, they grab this inner turret. Is going to create a gold lead for themselves of 500 right now, but it's not a whole lot. Traffic cone goes down. Seb comes in. He's going to slow him down with the Dead Man's Plate, but Destiny's going to offer some more wave clear as well. It's Infernum playing aggressively, and I like it.
This is almost coming down to a poke battle here between these guys. Who can make the pick more effectively? If you look at the side of Infernum having the Elisari, generally they can make the initial pick. They can do it reasonably effectively, but if they ever open themselves to an opportunity and Malphite ultimate connects or Bard stun hits the right person, then they just go. And if Avant go, I don't know if they have the damage or the ability to counter-engage here on this Infernum lineup. They've been forcing Ahri ultimates defensively time and again. This is their saving grace, is they have a Jack Attack who is huge, split pushing.
100 CS in the lead.
And Zed cannot deal with him. So Zed has to team fight, and it's not always going to plan.
Well, Blind Turkey may have given them a way into this one, but you can see teleport coming in from Jack Attack. That spells disengage from AV as he makes his way into the backline. Yuzuki as well, right up in front. As 7 Midbeast are going to get ulted there by Blind Turkey. Malaz not going to quite find the ultimate as Midbeast is going to survive. Seb takes down the big rock as Destiny, a defensive Valkyrie to try and get out. Chelby last-ditch effort. Is Midbeast still going to survive that one? And AV have to get out. Seb follows the ride, and Stealthix going to follow. The Bard now in trouble as he flashes over the cone. And Jack Attack, he's the tank. He's trying to soak aggro, but no one wants to fight him. He's too big.
They seriously cannot fight him. Zed runs away in that fight without having an impact. Doesn't even use his ultimate. And they can't win the fight that way. That is for certain.
Man.
Infernum.
Jack attack, Rusty. I've been waiting. I've been a fan for a very long time.
I don't think
have
anyone
to admit.
was waiting for a Jack attack carry game.
Oh, I have been.
I think pleasant surprises are what we can pin this down to.
You know, when I was a YSSC fan, I was always just thinking, get off that Mundo, man.
You weren't a cheese fan during YSSC.
I was a Denian fan,
someone who
don't
played
even worry about it.
Anyway.
I was a big fan of that team. Never mind. Look at this.
Jack attack comes in with a flank. Yuzuki engages, and this is where Malphite sees his moment, misses his moment, even though the Bard's stun connected to set them up afterwards. And unfortunate stuff is wrecked. Doesn't have an impact. Has his ultimate available this entire time, but can't find his way in. They pick off Shelby, and it's just clockwork from there.
Yeah, and the Zhonya's was still available from mid-beast as well, so wrecked. With the fact that there's that delay on the ultimate, it was just never safe enough to go in as AV. Set up a gank rush. Seb may be the target here as package has been delivered. He pops up into the air. It might be time for Infernum to try and re-engage this one as Suzuki's in there. Seb as well, very tanky. Massive pulverize there as Malaz has come in with the teleport. Jack Attack now has the ground in his favor, and he's creating a brick wall that AV cannot get past, and that's a lot used, and nothing really gained here from AV. They've sent a message, and they may be able to get some back, so Infernum may not be in position for this Baron.
The question is, if they commit to the Baron, how quickly can they do it? Health isn't an issue, it's damage, and can Infernum actually get into this pit at all? Jack Attack.
Yeah, he's been locked up here. That's 5 members that he has to contend with, down to about 2/3 health, but Subjugate is still there. That's what you have to watch out for because it gives him so much back. Wow, that was a nice cocoon from Zeb. But they can't follow up at all. Jack Attack now with his health well and truly back up there. He's trying to get in amongst this fight. Infernum following up as well. Wreck takes a lot of damage. That True Shot barrage across all of the squishy members. Yeah, Chelby has to deal with the cocoon. Traffic cone down one more time, but it's a nice tunnel to get himself out. Mid. See whether Infernum can keep going.
Oh, watch Malphite.
Oh, another charm lands. Mid-beast playing fantastically, followed up by the cocoon. They grab the pick on the jungler. Malaz now off to the side, like you said. This inhibitor is dead. Infernum with full control. Yeah, I love it. Jack Attack. His kingdom now. Damn right it is.
Individual mechanical plays is what is setting Infernum up here in this game. Rekt has had no way in. Malaz has hit no ultimates because he can't. They're picking targets, and Yuzuki's target selection on this Alistar has been headbutting all of the right people away so that they can't be in this fight. Baron has started, and Avant want to contest this.
The herder to become the herder, says the cows. He's popped the ultimate now as well, trying to get AV away from this pit. Infernum are still on the Baron. This is still dangerous, most definitely. It's going down very low. Tempered Fate not going to find anyone as Yuzuki's going to die. Rekt able to pick up that kill. Big ultimate comes in. Double now for Rekt. The Baron is going to fall down, but Seb's going to die. Stealthic's now in trouble as Jack Attack, the last man standing. Destiny looking for it. Wrecked very low. Shutdown comes in as Destiny's over the top. That is 4-0 in favor of AV. The Baron remains only on Jack Attack. Empowered Recall comes down, but AV just wants structures. And that was not worth it, Infernum.
And they have a lot of time. Infernum overcommit to finishing that Baron off, and they lack the damage that we mentioned earlier to effectively take it down. They're running a pick composition. Their best bet is to actually siege and pick, but what they've done is forced a team fight for Avant, who have come up and come out the better end for it because Rekt got a successful ultimate off.
Yeah, Yuzuki doesn't have his ultimate available just yet, but Jack Attack's making his way around. Destiny and Rekt can't threaten the inhibitor this time. With the last remaining Baron buff swirling around Jack Attack, they will be able to deter them. Shelby has to be very careful. Mid-beast with the home guard is looking for the charm. He's trying to juke. The charm misses. Cocoon misses. Fancy little footwork there from Shelby, who will burrow himself out. But man, that was close. Oh, traffic cone.
I mean, Jack's not done, but the rest of Infernum basically are. They just chase him out. And Shelby again, yeah, fancy footwork, somehow gets out.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And Juve saying, for all stars, what a monster. To Jack Attack. Damn right, Juves. This guy's a beast.
Absolutely. If Infernum win this game, it's entirely on the back of Jack. 6-2-4 on this Trundle with ridiculous amounts of farm. Malaz has had little to no impact in this game. It's a battle of wrecked against Jack.
The thing is, the gold, once again, completely even. All of those turrets that were able to be picked up by Avant after that Baron fell down is going to equalize everything. And this game, it's going to come down to one team fight. And we'll see who can execute correctly.
I still think the Jack attack should be going towards the Ravenous Hydra option and committing much more to the split pushing. The team's working around this pick, and they can't effectively pick if all 5 members of Avant are there.
Well, he's got a Thornmail now. So not a lot that Wrecked can do to him, but at least Destiny can still happily throw phosphorus bombs.
And Destiny's big. Destiny's massive.
4 and 5, man. Last Whisper now picked up. Another BF sword there as Infernum now turning their attention towards the bottom side. Top lane inhibitor still exposed. But
Mid Beast also doesn't do much at the moment, I'll be honest with you. He's got his 3 items. Oh,
Tempered Fate dodged by everyone here as Midbeast has popped the ultimate already. Yuzuki's in amongst it, wrecked, getting destroyed right now. Deathmark dodges the True Shot barrage as Infernum trying to secure themselves here in the back line. Stealthix able to take down Shelby there as Jack attacks so big. What the hell is this? Trundle, Destiny gets destroyed. Wreck now has to deal with this massive troll who tanks turrets like they're nothing. Infernum just destroying their way through this fight. And only 2 survive. Infernum have everyone apart from the cow. And that inhibitor going to go down. Multi-inhibs now in favor of Infernum.
They're going for the end here. This Trundle is huge. Watch Wrecked.
Yeah, nice double stun there from Blind Turkey. Wrecked. It's up to him to try and get something back. Deathmark not available. The last Nexus turret is going to fall. Wrecked is dead. The shutdown comes in. It's only Blind Turkey and Infernum pick up their first victory in the OPL. And so deserve it off the back of that bloody huge troll. What the hell?
7-2-7 was Trundle at the end of that game. And you have to say it. Jack attack. He actually carried the game for his entire team. Yeah. Everyone had a good effort. Stealthix did his job. Midbeast did not feed the Zed, which was big because he still had an impact in the later stages of that game. But without that Trundle, they were nothing. He got them over the finish line there.
Yeah, so massive. Picks up his 6th item, and then they decide to win that game. Tank that turret forever as well. So definite kudos there to Jack Attack, of course. The rest of the team supporting very, very well. But we are going to throw it over to our analysts to break down the first Infernum win.
Thank you so much, Atlas. And that was a weird game. One more time. What the heck is going on?
That was a weird series, to be honest with you. Like, that was just, again, like I think messy was the term I used after game 2, and that was sort of what that series felt like. Very chaotic, sloppy on either side, some great moments as well from both teams, and it kind of makes sense that it went to 3, but yeah, even down to that last game, that was just everywhere. Spaghetti.
Yuzuki and Jack Attack, the 2 biggest trolls in Oceanic. That is just impressive.
I just love how one's an actual troll and one is just a troll in real life. But let's go back to Jack Attack because he had a huge performance. You know, this is a guy, you know, has a Smurf called Potato Tank. Very good sport. Like, he takes a lot in the scene, but that was a very impressive performance on Trundle. He got a couple of solo kills and went off.
I agree. I think Jack, and I sort of noted this last week when he started playing Olaf, that it feels like he's sort of learning how to play some different styles. Like, if you're going to play any sort of carry, like, he's not playing Fiora, but, like, Trundle Olaf, kind of still tanky, but definitely a bit more carry potential. So it is nice to see Jack actually being a bit more diverse.
Yeah, I do want to give him credit for those Trundle performances because that was very impressive. And what's better than the tank-only player picking tanks is the tank killer, which is Trundle. So. Yeah,
that was really cool. And I want to go across the other side of the rift because I keep hearing about Malaz. I was excited by his Game 2 performance. I thought he'd turn the corner. When the other team is locked in Trundle, and it's like Telegraph because they haven't Alistar. So unless they go on some weird AP alley top, you know that it's Trundle top lane. Like Fiora's up. There's a couple of other picks around there. Why is this guy not going back to the carries, do you think, Sybil?
I'm not sure. I think the Malphite pick was definitely the most questionable thing there because picking Trundle, picking Malphite into Trundle just doesn't make any sense whatsoever, even if it's for the comp. I think Malaz for sure should have gone on for a carry there because you just saw he just sort of you can't do anything into Trundle.
Well, you saw that even when Malaz had good team fights, and I'm not saying he didn't have good team fights, there was a point at the Baron where they cleaned up everyone. Jack Attack ulted Malaz and ran out. Like, they honestly could, like, with Malaz on the map, Jack Attack became unkillable.
Yeah, and that's sort of the thing, right? Like, you mentioned the tank player playing the tank killer that also split pushes and is also very tanky.
Yeah.
Like, this champion's apparently the best for Jack. It reminds me of his Singe in some ways. He's just sitting there in side lanes trolling people, hitting them with a club. And, like, drafting in general for Avant was sort of all over the shop, to be honest. Like, Rector's only playing Assassins. He clearly wants to go to comfort picks. At least most of the games there for Shelby, only finally going to Rek'Sai towards the end. Like, I just look down and it's just awkward for Avant. And that seems to be one of their issues.
But the late game team fighting for Infernum wasn't awkward. And I want to go towards Yuzuki in the bottom lane, the support player. Huge 4-man headbutt pole at the end of the game. Guy definitely not trigger shy. How good can this Infernum team be if they get some late game shot calling?
Very good. I think after that, after last week's like scary games that they had, I wasn't sure that they'd be able to recover, but they really showed that they can win games against teams like AV, who aren't, they're a pretty good team. So.
Yeah, a big battle for sure, but very impressed with Yuzuki and his play. And in general, this is the right a step in the right direction for Infernum. It's just they need to take a few more.
Yeah, it certainly was, and credit to them. They came back from a heartbreaking loss last week. 3-set this one against Avant, who were looking good. So congratulations to Infernum. They will take it 2-1. Guys, just want to remind you that next week we will have some schedule changes. So Monday, the games will start at 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Saving Time. Tuesday we'll have the double headers. They will start at 6 o'clock, and then Wednesday we'll be back to 7 local time for one best of 3. Tomorrow night we have a huge game coming up. However, it will be Hellions taking on Legacy in a battle of our two teams with gaming houses. Do not miss that one. That will start at 6 o'clock Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time. But for myself and all those guys on the desk and our whole production crew, really want to thank you for tuning in tonight, and see you tomorrow.